we use Docker, it charges.
It's open source. And also it is one of the automation tool. So which helps us to create a containers, and for the deployment purpose we use it. Okay, for deployment processes, right? At the time we use it. Not you can say, oh yeah, you can say integration purpose only. Okay. Now, what I'll try to do is like, so now I want to execute the file main.java file. Okay, I want to execute the Java file. So I'll give the whatever the this thing. Okay, class demo class main public static okay, so now the thing is like here I have this file. Okay, this is my Java application. Now this Java application I'll give you, and you guys don't have the what JDK in your system. Do you guys have? You have? No, right? So what I want you to do is like I want you to run this application. I'm giving the code, yeah, don't worry. I want you to run this application. I want you to check whether this will execute or not. Okay. So who all are multi-cloud here? You only?
We both.
You both are.
I am.
Everybody are multi-cloud.
I don't have a share.
Sharath? Sharath is multi-cloud or single cloud?
Yeah, multi-cloud, ma'am.
Azure is left, right? I have to tell them.
Sometimes public is different.
So let me skip there. Try it now. Not received it. Try and let me know what is the error. Mastan, Sharath? Huh?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Create a one Java file with the extension of .java, then add it. Online students? Is it done? Is it done? So that is the error, like because you don't have a Java extension, right? So if you don't have a Java extension, what you have to do? You have to install it, right? So now others, what about others? What you got the error? Sharath and Mastan. Highlight.
Block it.
Wow, who will block you? Then you should leave early there, right? Somebody is blocking you. At what?
But
At what time? 11 o'clock. Huh? Sharath and Mastan, whether you are done or not. If you don't do this one, you will. Ma'am.
I'm not
Sharath,
using that stuff, ma'am. My laptop is not working.
when
So
you
I'm
will
not.
use.
I want to buy new one, ma'am. It will take this month, mostly first.
But
With this,
whatever
yeah, okay. I will
whatever
writing
you
everything.
do this one, you can match this whatever the things afterwards.
Yeah, okay. I will match. I will writing everything. So I will practice next week. Mostly, ma'am.
Okay. What about Mastan? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You mentioned. What is that? No, ma'am. Mastan. He's typing, Sina. No, mama. I'm outside. Then why you are attending the class if you are outside? Huh? I'm not mama, yaar. I'm not mama. I'm not your mama. I will tell like spelling mistake, ma'am. The spelling mistake, mama, you'll say again. Okay, no worries. What I can say. Okay, so what you will get, that is like, you will get the error like, so there is no extension of the Java. If you have a Java extension, it will execute, no worries. If you don't have a Java extension, then it will show the error called the find the extension or there is no extension of the Java, it will show. Okay, so now I have sent this in the group, so that is the reason you took this and you have added. For example, if I pushed into the GitHub, okay, you will take this, whatever the file is there, then you will run it, right? So then It will give the what? If you don't have an extension, it will throw the error. So I have to install that, whatever the extension, particular extension, if you are using the particular language. Now, without doing that, what I'll do, I'll make the what image of this one. I can make an image of this one. So how can we do the image? So one is already we have a what? A user defined, right? Default images. Or you can say already some of the images are exist. Okay, that is also created by the what? One of the person itself. So now as a developer, okay, as a developer or a DevOps engineer, what it has to do is like they has to make an image for this one. Okay, they has to create an image for to run this application. Okay, now how to create the image? Okay, how to create an image means with the help of the what? With the help of with the help of Docker file. Okay, with the help of Docker file. So this Docker file helps us to create the images. But if I create a Docker file, it is not that only Docker file creation is not enough. We need to give the what? Extension. Okay, not extension. We have to give the instruction. So it doesn't have any kind of extension. Okay, only Docker file you have to mention. Docker file, only Docker file you have to mention. So nothing else. For Java and others, you will be having the extension, right? So, but for this one, you don't have any kind of extension. You just need to create it as a what? Docker file. So with the help of Docker file, I'm creating. But in the Docker file, I need to create the what? I need to give the what? Some kind of instructions to create the what? Image. Okay, to create the image. So Docker file and with the instruction. Okay. So what are the instruction? Now we will see in this chapter. Okay, or we will see in this class. So what are those instructions? Means one by one we will see what are those instructions. So first instruction is from. Okay, so from keyword or from instruction helps us to create the what? A base image. Base image. Okay, this helps us to create the what? Base image. So for example, I want to utilize the what? Ubuntu. If I want to create a Linux, if I want to create the what? Python, if I want to go with a Java. So if whatever I want that base image, if I want to create that kind of image means I need to use the base image. Okay. So this is a what? From helps us to, which helps us to set the base image. Okay. So example from Ubuntu. Okay. From. So it should be capital only. The keyword should be in the capital. Okay. Don't write in the small letter. Okay. So Python 3.12 or something like that. And from OpenJDK. Okay, so these are the examples for the from. Okay, getting. So now let me run one of the what? This thing. So for example, I'm just trying to use the what? I'm setting the what from as a OpenJDK. OpenJDK means for the JDK extension. For the JDK extension, I'm using it. So now let me create an image. Okay, for example, I don't have any kind of instruction. Okay, I don't have any instruction in this Docker file. So will that image will create? No, right? So how to create the image? I have a Docker file and I have a instruction in this now. I have an instruction now. So that is one instruction, that is from keyword. Okay, Now, how to create the image? Okay, so do I have created now? No, right? Only what I mentioned here, image. With the help of Docker file with the instructions, I can create a what image. But also using this, it is just my what you can say. It is giving me some instruction or what I can say like. So for example, I'm the trainer, right? I'm telling you or I'm teaching you, this is the things you need to apply. Who will do that one? So you have to do, right? The same thing, the Docker file is a what? You're like, it's giving some instruction to create the images. Okay. So we can use the Docker file to give the instruction to create an image. Now, the main thing as a person, like as a developer, we have to give the command to use this Docker file to create your image. Okay, getting. So now what is that command? So that is Docker build. Okay, Docker build is used for to create the image using the what? Docker file. Okay, so Docker build -it. Yesterday I shown you. Sure. Sorry, -it. I should -t. Sorry, not -it. -t. Image name. For example, I can give any image name there is no worry. For example, I can give batch 22 also. So according to the what project or according to what it is, so you can just give the image name. Okay. And what is the -t means? It is for the tag. So if you want to add the tag name also, you can add the tag name. Okay, so what is the tag name? Like tag name, as I mentioned, it is used for to differentiate the images. Okay, if you have a multiple images like batch 22, you can differentiate. Okay, so here -t helps us to create the what? A tag. Okay, so let me use it as T1. Okay, after this, give one dot. Okay, this is a syntax. Don't ask me what is a dot now. Okay, so enter. So error connecting during connect. So that means my Docker desktop is not running. So let it run. Till then I'll give the notes of that. Build the image. Docker build -t image name. Image name. Tag name. Okay, so now the Docker desktop is running. Let me run it again. So you can see it is giving me that building. So the first, this is from JDK is there, right? Open JDK. It will execute that one. So you can see particular layer of this one. So it goes layer by layer always. Okay, so whenever you build the image, it will go by layer. Okay, so now you can see that from where it is extracting. Where? Docker hub. So that is Docker registry, docker.io. Okay, from here itself it is extracting and it is creating our images. Getting or not? Yesterday what you have done, you pulled it directly. Now what you are doing, you are making that as a base image here to run a different files. Okay, so if I use the that is OpenJDK, it will go to like Java shell. For example, if you see, if I run the file docker run -it, what is the name of that? Batch 22, tag name is T1. If I run like this, so it will go to the what? G shell. And see, it's going to the G shell, right? Exit. So I came out of the container now. So now this is a what? My from instruction, which helps us to set the base image. Now there are multiple instructions are there. Okay. So if I don't have a from instruction, okay, what will happen? Okay, I'll tell you afterwards. Before that, I'll just use you one of the another instruction, that is working directory. So what is the purpose of this working directory? Any idea? So it sets the what? A working directory for the you can say add, copy, and there is some kind of what? Another instructions are there. For that, it will create a what? Working directory in the Docker desktop. Okay. So means if you want to create any kind of file, you will create a one file path, right? Where you want. The same thing, it will also set the what? Working directory for these other instructions. Okay, there is a other instruction like add, copy, cmd, entry point, and also run. Okay, these kind of instructions, it will set the what? Working directory. Okay, now as I mentioned, so now as of now working directory I set. Okay, and also I'll just make this one also. An example is like this. Let's see, working directory, work directory. You can mention anything. Okay, so it is not should be anything like it should be particular this one only. You can make it anything. Okay, getting working directory. Right. What is working directory? What? What?
Make a directory to do the adding copy elements.
Okay. What is working directory?
It gives a path to perform specific tasks like adding.
Correct, right? Tell me now.
It's a path.
It's a path, that's it. Okay, it sets the what? Path for your the add and direct, whatever the entry point, and for the other instructions. Okay, so now this is the example. So how to create a working directory. Okay, so where it will create in our Docker desktop. Okay, in the bin bash of that. Okay, now let me create the again, means let me execute the image again, or let me create the image again using the what? Build. So whenever you add a new instruction or whenever you make some changes in the file, So try to use the build again because it won't be added, right? So this whatever the thing is there, so it won't be added. Till before I built, so it was only this instruction got executed, but it didn't executed the what work directory, right? So now I have added the work directory. So now if I want to build again the image means you need to create a what again means you need to use the command called build. Okay. Now enter. Now you can see that. So from also it will execute and also work directory it will execute. See here. That's right. What if I don't have a from? Okay. What if I don't have a from? I don't have a base image at all. I don't have base image at all. So will it work? Why? Yes. So the thing is like the from image should be what from keyword should be or a from instruction should be a first line of any instruction other than like. So if you are using any instruction, the from keyword or a from instruction should be first line itself. You have to set the image. Without setting the image, I can't go for it. Okay, getting? So you can see there is an error, no build stage in current context. Okay. Next one is copy. Copy helps us to copy the file or helps us to copy the file or folder to the destination. Okay, which destination we mentioned that there it will go. Okay, so it will helps us to copy the files or a folder from source to destination. Okay. Is correct. So destination. This is called as a what? A copy. For example, I have in my folder. This is a bash docker B22 is my folder, right? In that I have a multiple files are there. Okay. Now if I want to execute those files means which is present in my local system, that has to be what? Copied into the what? The working directory of Docker file or a Docker desktop to execute that files. Yes or no? Obviously, right? So if for example, I have it is in my local system and Docker desktop, that working directory is over here and I need to copy the whatever the files are there. So from our local working directory to what? The destination where we had created the work directory. Okay. So then only I can execute those files. Otherwise, no. Okay. So copy command has to be like we can use this copy command to copy the whatever the file or folder from the what source to destination. Source is my local working directory to Docker desktop working directory. Okay. Now, so example is copy. For example, dot means it is current directory, right? So dot means current. So slash whatever the working directory I set. So just now I have set the what app, right? So I'm setting the means I want to copy it over here. Okay. So slash. So now you see now again I need to build it. Again I need to build. Okay. So you can see executed. Now whatever the files are there, it will be present in the what Docker desktop of the working directory in bin bash. Okay. Getting, guys? Online? I don't know whether they are getting. I'm feeling like they are not present at all. Okay, so next one. Copy is done. Next one is add. So add is also helps us to copy the whatever the files and the okay, so whatever the it will helps us to copy whatever the files and the folder, also which helps us to copy the URL also. If you have any kind of URL, URL, okay, URL from the source to destination. If you have any kind of URLs, okay, so if using the copy, I can't copy the whatever the URLs, only file or a folder I can. For example, if I have a URL, so how to copy? Sleep it, right? Sleep. There only you sleep. Huh? Okay, so how to add it? Means at the time I can just use the what? Add instruction to add the URLs. Okay, or if you have any kind of zip file also, at the time you can use the what? Add. Okay, add instruction. So example now. Are you guys getting? Or any confusion? Yeah. So add. Okay. So I'll take a GitHub URL. Yeah, this is my GitHub URL I'll take, and I'll try to copy these things, whatever it is there inside this. So this coffee is good. So this is my source. Okay. Destination is app again. Okay. I'm copying it to my destination. So let's build again. Okay. Nothing. No problem. I can copy it. For example, if I add this one, okay. If I add this one in copy here. Okay. That is my source and I'm trying to copy it using the copy instruction. So you can see it will throw the error now. So what is telling? Source can't be a URL for a copy. Getting? So I hope this is clear. Clear? Okay. Next one is run. So we can give the executable command over here. So it is used for to run any commands. Okay, while creating the image itself, while creating the image. Okay, while creating the image, so we can run the what commands. For example, I have installed the what Ubuntu. Think that I have used the what Ubuntu as a base image. So in that, I want to execute some kind of commands, just like app get update, that kind of, while creating the image itself. Okay, so at that time I can just use the run command. This one, and any confusion here? Where? For example, I have as of now base image is a what OpenJDK. Okay, think that I have a OpenJDK. Now it is already OpenJDK. Now think that I have a Ubuntu. I think that I have a Ubuntu. So in the Ubuntu, now I need to update it, right? That things. So I get update. So that has to be now update while creating the image itself. Okay. So at that time, I can just give it as a water here as that command. Okay. Run. App get update. And also we can give multiple things also using and. Okay. Double ampersand is an and. Apt get install any other thing. Okay. Package name Python. I'm just giving it as a Python. Okay. So now like this I have given. Okay. I'm not going to execute this one. I'm given the example because I don't use the what. I'm not using the base image as the what? Ubuntu. OpenJDK, I'm using it. Instead of that, what I can give is what? Instead of that, so if I'm using any file, okay, for example, I'm using the run what? Any other file like main.java or something like that. So you guys are from CS background, right? Now I have a question. You guys are CS, right? CS, right? Huh? CS, right? So if I want to execute the Java file, means extension is there, everything is there. I'm using the command line interface. CLI I'm using it, or a terminal I'm using it to execute the file. What is the first step you do? Create a file. I have already file. Now I want to execute that file. What you will do? Yes, you have to compile it, right? Before running that, it has to be compiled. So that means, so run will be like, it is not a, that whatever the bytecode is there. So compile is what it will do? It will convert it to
Such errors.
it will search for the syntax error, right? Okay, so that syntax error will be checked by the run, means the syntax has to be checked before the run itself. Okay, so that means I can give the what here compilation. Why? Before running itself, in the before creating the image itself, it has to be that whatever the file is there, it can compile it. Okay, so that means I can give it here in the run. Yes, right? So for example, main.java is there. Now I want to execute this one. So before it has to be compiled, means it has to be checked with the syntax error. Okay. So now what I'll do, I'll just use the Java C. Okay. Whatever the file name, main.java. Any confusion? Any confusion? No, right? Simultaneously, I'm executing the main.java also. You can see. Oh, shit. It's okay, fine. They executed, no worries. So again, I'll execute. Okay, So for example, if I make some changes here, I make some syntax error here, syntax error like this. Okay, now I'll build it again. So it has built without error, right? Now I am just going to build it again. So what it will throw is like it will throw the error. Okay, you can see that it is throwing the error over here, and you can see, and also it is throwing the things like semicolon. So expected semicolon. So this is the syntax, right? Okay. So now I need to check it again with the syntax. Then I have to add it, and means it is compiling it, right? So if it is throwing some syntax error, means it is compiling itself. Okay. That means while creating the image itself, I'm compiling this file. Okay. So whatever for example, in the run instruction, we need to give whatever the things by commands which can be executed while creating the image itself. Okay. So here any doubts, guys? Sure. Next one, cmd command. Okay. cmd. So this is also helps us to go for the execute the commands itself. So you can say commands. It is used for to create run any commands while creating the container. Okay, while creating the container, what happens? cmd command will execute. Got it, guys? Getting. After for example, I have created the image. Now I want to run some kind of commands after the execution of the image. Okay, or executing of or creating the image. After creating the image, I want to execute that particular file or anything, any commands. So at that time, you have to use the cmd command. Okay. So example, I'll just show you that example. So I want to execute which file now? main.java, right? So I'll just use the main.java in the cmd. Okay. So first Java, that extension, whichever extension, then file name. Which file I want to execute? main.java. Okay. Now let me execute, but you can observe that. So once I execute this file, okay, or create a image, so will this instruction getting executed or not? Just see here in this. Has it executed? Only till 5, that is run. Add, run and copy, and you can say work directory. So these are only, it is got executed. But it didn't execute the your main file. That is cmd, right? So that means when it will execute, when the container is creating. When the container will create? Okay, how will you execute that? How do you create a container? You have written yesterday in the page, but you don't remember.
Docker run.
Yes, Docker run -it. Image name is batch 22 tag T1. Hello, what? Executed. Did I install any kind of JDK extension? No, right? But using the The base image, I have executed this one. So if I give this container to somebody or this image to somebody, they can easily what? Execute this file. They don't need to execute what? Install the extension of JDK again. Okay. This is what making the container. Got it? Any doubts? Next one is entry point. Okay, so what is the entry point means? It is also executable command itself. So if you use the CMD command multiple times, okay, so for example, I'm using the CMD command like this multiple times. Okay, so if I use the CMD command multiple times, whatever in the previous CMD command I have given the commands, so that will get overridden by the the another CMD command. Okay, understanding? So if I give it with the entry point, it will not. Okay, it will not override. We can use this entry point to execute the multiple commands. Okay, if you have multiple commands to be executed at that time, you should not go with the CMD. It is only for one time. If you want to execute multiple, at the time you can use the entry point. Okay, got it? This is also helps us. This is also execute while creating the container itself. Okay, getting? Next one. Code. Not code, expose. Okay, so expose helps us to expose port. So for example, if I want to expose this application in one of the web browser, okay, I need a one port, right? I need one port. Yes, right? So at that time, I can just use the the expose port. Okay, for example, I can expose in this to 3000 or whatever. Like this. Okay, understanding? So this is the keyword. So next one, user. So who is the user of this? Who is the user of this daemon? We can mention. Okay, for example, I am the user. I can mention my name. Okay, user. Okay, like this. Okay, who is the user of this image or who is the creator of this image also? We can give it. Okay, so any doubts here? These are the instruction mainly we use it. There are a lot of instructions are there. So there is no end. So one by one you can learn it. So once you get into these things. Okay. So here any doubts till now? I executed the main.java and also I shown you what are the instruction also. Yes. So can you do this one now? Only execute the main.java file using your Docker file. Can you do? You will do what you will do. Okay. Good. ChatGPT.
Charging.
Really good. Okay, I'll send it into the GitHub. Just open it, GitHub, and try to use this and execute the file. Okay, I have already shared it, that URL, you can find it over there. Okay.